You know, we got a lot to talk about. Like, a lot to talk about. Like, I don't even want to sit here and jibber jabber. There we go. I forgot to even pull my mic up here. Like, we got a lot to talk about. I don't want to sit here and do a lot of jibber jabbering. I got on late. You know how it is. This is a house of illness around here. Like, if I'm not sick, my kid's sick, my wife's sick, we're all sick. It's that time of the year, baby. Anyway, they dropped a lot of stuff today, man, and they confirmed some things. Like, yeah, there's just a lot. Like, yeah, G-Funk Jimmy, that's kind of what we got going on. Yeah, I can swallow food and drinks again because I'm over strep throat. And I am back on the horse, as they say. So I'm ready to get it back on the chocobo, get rolling. So anyway, what was everybody's favorite, most crazy bit of information that came out today? Let me hear it, because there was a lot. And here's the thing. There's a lot that there's probably a few things I don't know about that I did not see. Like, I saw someone in the chat earlier saying confirmed 10 hours between Calm and Junon. Is that correct? Is that correct? Because if that's the case and they're calling for 40 hours of story, that kind of has me worried a little bit. Like, that kind of has me worried a little bit. But this is not a worrying session. This is a excited session, because the Game Informer 362 that dropped today, I love that they're finally calling this the Remake Saga. Was 10 hours in. Okay, so yeah. There was a lot, and I'm actually going to do a video on this, I think. I'm probably going to release it tomorrow, but there was a lot in that new shot they released of Sephiroth. Who remembers? Who are my OGs, alright? Who are my OGs who remember in the lead up to Final Fantasy VII Remake coming out? I said, I really hope they lean hard into the visceral horror of Final Fantasy VII. That new image, that new shot of Sephiroth in the fire is straight up horror film. They are leaning hard into the visceral horror, and from a director's standpoint, from a writer's standpoint, if Final Fantasy VII is about life, right? We're about to drop some bars here, okay? Final Fantasy VII is, the theme is about life. Sephiroth represents, and Genova represent death and removing something precious from you, taking things from you. That's life, that's death. You know, that's just how life works. It's the ebb and the flow of the life stream, you know what I mean? The cover, and I'm not going to get into everything I'm thinking about the cover here tonight, but I'm going to get into a lot of it. Just the shot of Sephiroth in the fire. It's reminiscent of the way the wind is blowing. It's reminiscent of Meteor. It's reminiscent of, in the way the cover wraps with Cloud, it's the flames of Rebirth. And the flames of Rebirth are reaching from Sephiroth and they're engulfing Cloud. We are getting Reunion Cloud. We are getting Reunion Cloud. It is happening. It is happening. We are going to fight Cloud at the end of this fucking game. We're going to fight Cloud at the end of this fucking game. Look. I'm so excited about that. I'm so excited. But yeah, that's a little bit of what I'm thinking about that new image. But yeah, the flames of Rebirth are spreading from Sephiroth and they are engulfing Cloud. Like, Cloud's gonna get swallowed up in this thing. We are getting Reunion Cloud. I am so excited. I am so excited. Like, this showed me what I needed to see. This, I don't need to see nothing else until February 29th. This showed me everything I needed to see. Got a little close on me there. Here, let me scoot this back. I've been doing a lot of directing work today, so I've been up here for Zoom meetings and production meetings. Like, this is where they like me, all the people that I'm working with on that. But this is where I like to be for you all. So forgive that angle a little bit. Forgive that angle a little bit. Like in the latest trailer, we saw a little bit of the battle music for the Temple of the Ancients. I do believe that was a Temple of the Ancients battle track that they played over that trailer. So how does this tie into Aerith dying or not? So, look, I'm gonna save my theory stuff for the videos I put out because they're more structured. I can think about it a little bit more. We'll get to that. I'm gonna do a video. I'm more interested in talking about your all's theories right here on the live streams and giving my feedback on them. What up, Bobby? I know we got the usual suspects in here tonight. How's everybody doing? With all that we get to see in trailers, how many places that we can name. And look, I'll tell you what, I'm really excited about this Crow's Nest village, this village of outcasts that hate Shinra. You know, I love this. And you know, let me switch over to my let me switch over to a different view real quick, because I got a couple images I got popped up here. Let me find, where'd it go? There it is. Let me zoom that. Boom. Alright, so this right here was one of the money makers today. This is one of the money makers that I saw today. I think you know what I'm getting ready to show you. Boom. This shot right here. And namely, what looks like Fort Condor in the back. So, there's a couple of different ways this can go. Okay? There's a couple of different ways this can go. In the interview, they talk about you're at a place called the Crow's Nest, right? And you hear about this merc who turns out to be Kyrie. She's trying to find other mercs and whatnot. She's at the lighthouse, blah, blah, blah. Either this shipwreck is the Crow's Nest, and that's Fort Condor back there, or we're meant to think that's Fort Condor, and that's really this Crow's Nest place. Because it said there were wrecked ships kind of littered about the area or whatever. And what is this dog carrying? This dog is carrying some kind of like quest giver kind of thing, right? It's carrying some kind of package. Yeah, I think it's Fort Condor as well, but here's the other thing. Yeah, that's Fort, yeah. We're meant to think that's Fort Condor. That's what they're meaning for us to think here. I think it is. I think it is. I don't think that's a statue. I don't think... The other way we can think about this, and this is something else I'm going to start throwing out there too. I'm going to start throwing out not one theory. I'm going to start throwing out multiple theories. I'm going to contra spread gun this thing. I'm going to contra spread gun this thing. We're going ultra galactic universal mind on this stuff. Not one theory, but many theories out there, right? So, because it's not a contest, it's all for fun. That could be a statue, right? We know in Gaia Prime, in Intermission, that they said Fort Condor once existed. It was once the focus of Shinra operation, right? So it once existed, it's no longer there. There it is. There it is right there. So, you want to get nuts? Let's get nuts. We'll get nuts. Oh, we'll get nuts. Y'all know where to come to get nuts. Y'all know what's up. Your boy's feeling better. I'm 100%. We're gonna be dropping all kinds of stuff again. It's gonna be full weapon loadout, guns blazing content for the rest of this week, starting tonight with this live stream. This was wild, like everything they dropped on us today. So yeah, Fort Condor. So what's going on? What is going on in the world of Rebirth? I've got a new theory, new idea that kind of piggybacks. Look, I'm not off of the one reality kick. I'm not off of it. I have not seen enough to take me off of it. Because here's what I think is going on. Okay, this is what I think is going on. And I think I've talked to a lot of you all privately, like in DMs and stuff, and I think a lot of you probably agree with me. If you haven't heard this, you're going to hear it for the first time here on the live stream. I'll do a video for it tomorrow. Maybe not tomorrow, maybe Thursday. But when Aerith did what Aerith did on the freeway at the Crossroads of Destiny, she blessed the Crossroads of Destiny, right? And all that kind of stuff. Like, I think it sent things into a tizzy. Like, I think what is going on is not necessarily branched timelines or branched reality. I think it's one reality being ripped apart, and it's slowly gonna pull itself back together. And all the changes that have happened as it slowly got ripped apart are gonna be in effect when it comes back together. I now think that's what's happening. I fully think that's what's happening. That explains the Beagle, that explains the Terrier, that explains the people that are unconscious in some realities and conscious in another. I mean, that explains all of that stuff. So when it's pulled apart, comes back together, the reunion's going to happen at the end of this game. The reunion now is this thing, this part, the Cataclysm, when it comes back together. That is going to be the reunion in this game, I feel like. And everything's going to back together. And then that is when the people we've been following here and our main party are going to be slammed together. But at that point, it's going to be too late to save Cloud. Who knows what's going on with Aerith, right? We all have 7 or 8 different theories about what's going on with Aerith. It's not interesting enough to me to talk about. It's interesting. It's interesting. What I'm not interested in is sitting here for 6 hours arguing with everybody why their 7 theories are different than my 7 or 8 theories. This is not Bible study. I'm not having a campfire Bible study, okay? This is what it is. We're going to talk about what is a little more concrete. And I think Zach is going to be added extra. Zach is going to be there. Zach is going to be there. What is going on with unconscious Aerith? We know what's going on with unconscious Cloud. We absolutely know what's going on with him. It's Mako poisoning. It's the same reason he was all like in Crisis Core at the end, you know? You brought the s'mores, well, go ahead and eat them, man. Go ahead and throw them out there for the whole class, dude. Class is in session, man. Let's go. You can bring snacks. But no, yeah, like, so this shot was super intriguing, right? Okay, so I'm going to go on to another shot. Told y'all, we're going to get in it. We're going to get in it. This is how we're going to do from now on. Boom, boom, boom. Oh, yeah, I got old Sephi pulled up there. Now, right here, Kyrie, right? Kyrie, we see in Zach's Midgar, whatever you want to call that. Again, this is like reality being pulled apart and pushed back together. Every character that exists in one reality is not going to be unconscious because they exist in the other reality. That is not going to happen. That just isn't going to happen. Like, you're going to have characters that exist here and exist there. It's the Yuffie thing. We talked about it after we finished intermission, right? It's the Yuffie thing. I'm telling you all, that Yuffie riding on the Chocobo at the end of intermission is not the same Yuffie that is going to be scared of Genova, that lost Sonon, because after the singularity and things get pulled apart, that is a different Yuffie. That is going to be a different Yuffie. I'm calling that one. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. If I'm wrong about it and this game comes out and I'm wrong about that, I will be the first one to say, yo, I was wrong about that. I was totally wrong about it. Don't you worry. I got you. Uncle Ray's got you. I'll keep it honest. But I think that is wildly what is going on here. I am so excited to see how all that's going to play out, because Reality Smash is back together. It can go one of two things, right? Or it can go one of two ways. Like, we're either going to, one of those characters are going to disappear, but they're going to have like memories and feel different because it's almost like they had a dream that they just woke up from, but they didn't actually fall asleep to have the dream. You know what I mean? It's like the forever dream, the eternal dream. Like they didn't fall asleep, but they feel like they had this dream. Now they've got these memories and these experiences they can't explain, or whatever, right? Or there's just two of each character running around. I find that less interesting though. But there were a lot of things they said in this interview. Nomura and everybody else. There was a part in the interview I loved that Nomura said. What was it he said? Leezy. I'm reading some of your stuff here while I'm thinking about it. So Nomura said in 2015 at E3 he was there, right? He said he was there. He brought he brought the trailer and everything and the teaser, and he was there for it. And he said he got emotional when he heard people like cheering and excited, and it was the announcement of the year. It was the announcement of the year, and he said he was really blown away by that. Like, when I'm looking at all of this stuff, I look at the human component of it. Like, I don't get lost in the whole, the minutia of things like a lot of people can do. I like to give a different take on things, and I like to look at the human element of it. I look at it from a creator's, writer's, artist's, director's standpoint. When you create a project, even if it was like years ago, and you can see that so many people love that project and it still moves you, and you know you have to do a good job, like, that really hit me in a different way. And I kind of looked at Nomura in a bit of a different way. Not to say I always agree with all of his decisions, because I don't, but like, it was more of a human look at him than I had seen in other interviews. So yeah, I really enjoyed that. The stuff with Hamaguchi, I've told you all, Hamaguchi's coming out of this looking like a rock star. He's looking like Square Enix's next rock star developer. I can't say enough good things about him. The fact that it was Hamaguchi who pushed for the open world, and Nomura was like, that's a great idea, yeah, we absolutely have to have the world map. We have to run around the world map. The fact that Hamaguchi is a fan, he was a fan, and this is something else we've talked about before, right? This is something else we've talked about, that a lot of these developers that are coming up now were fans of this game. This is the reason they wanted to be a game developer. Hamaguchi is one of those guys. And he was like, he brought a fan's perspective. They were like, look, we're making these changes, we're doing all this stuff to the story, you got to be on board with it if you want to be in the project. And he was like, yeah, no problem, sounds great, let's do it, let's rock, you know. And I thought it was really interesting that they put that out there about Hamaguchi, and then he was the one who was like, we got to have the world map. We can't do outside of Midgard without the world map. We're not going to do this like the games we've done in the past. We got to have a world map. I agree with it. I agree with it, and I love the fact. I love the energy he's bringing to the project. That excites me. I'm reading through some of your comments real quick, so I was rambling a bit there. But are you worried that they kind of show a bit too much of Rebirth? No, because they still haven't really shown us much. I mean, we're still looking at areas from the first bit of the game. And the way that Kate Sith plays, like you can summon the Mog to ride on, or you can play as Kate Sith, just, that was interesting. I'm not a Kate Sith fan, you know, but that was interesting to me. I found that interesting. They have not shown up. I don't really want to see anymore. They've got my money. Everything they're showing me, like the subtle little hints they're putting in the artwork, the subtle little nods, the camera angles, the key art that they're showing us, the key art. There is so much messaging hidden in the key art. it is mind-blowing. We're going to get into that in some of the videos this week. But, like, they've shown me all I need to see. They've shown me all that I need to see. And I'm going to break it down for you all, too. Yeah, that Yuffie didn't... I don't think that Yuffie even met Sona or knows who he is. I think that Yuffie is the Yuffie that the party met in OG Final Fantasy VII that jumps you in the woods and tries to take your materia. I think that's who that is. My brother in Christ, they're showing way too much. It's possible it is, although no sign that... Well, of course, Sora. I mean, there's no sign for any of this bullshit that everybody's throwing out. You know, I mean, there's no sign for any of it. You know, we're all just making shit up at this point, and we're hoping, you know, one of these things is right. You know, but we're all just educated guessing at this point. I'm talking about... Whenever I talk about some of these subtle story changes, it's in the directing. It's in the storytelling. It's in the layout, the framing of the scenes. Like, Yuffie was purposefully shown different there for a reason. For a reason. You don't have to paint it out on a big chalkboard and write it out. And no, that's not how they're going to do this. That's not how they're going to do any of this stuff. And I'm excited. That's got me so excited. That's got me, like, I'm not going to lie. I was bored with the theory stuff. Bored. Like, I was like, all the best theories are out there. A bunch of other people. Now everybody's just doing like bloated, you know, fan service or bloated fan fiction. But now with this and some of the things they're showing, I'm like, oh my god. Oh my god. Like, I'm not thinking of all new theories, but I'm thinking of some of the really good theories I've heard out there. And some of the things that are starting to line up in the good theories. Not the fan fiction, but the good theories. Cloud fell asleep in the tornado. How are you doing? Yeah, so after all the info, there is no way the Forgotten City scene is the same. And yeah, oh yeah. Oh yeah, that is going to change. And thank you, Ego Robot. I appreciate you asking. I'm feeling much better. My son got sick again tonight. That's why I came on so late. But we got him taken care of, and it's just that time of year, man. If you got little kids, the whole house is going to be sick until it warms up. So I'm just buckling down and preparing. Staying hydrated, plenty of vitamin C, hitting the weights, doing some cardio, getting that good energy. So may your heart be your guiding key, Sora. The power of hearts. That was a lame-ass line. Who said that line? Was that in Kingdom Hearts 2? I forgot who said that. I remember I was playing the game and I was like, oh my god. Anyway. Orly, my live reaction to what? Oh, was it the Yuffie thing? We play the 2015 E3 trailer. It syncs up crazy with all the new information we have. Oh, what the narrator's saying there? Yeah, absolutely. Hamaguchi's one of us, man. He's one of us. That's why, look, I had a good feeling. Every interview I've seen with the guy, everything he said about the project, like that he's on board, it doesn't come off like company speak. He sounds like he cares about it, you know? I've said it from the jump. About him. I'm like, I have a really good feeling about that guy. And it looks like we're going to be rewarded. But we got to wait and see. We got about 11 weeks, so. Oh yeah, I read the whole article, Bobby. Yeah. Like, well, I think I read the whole article. I read everything that Game Informer had posted, so. Look, keep the last half of the game a secret. I love also what they went into with the synergy attacks. How it's all about deepening your bonds with the party members and the characters. And look, this is something else that we've discussed here on the streams. And again, this is another writing, storytelling thing. If you want to feel an attachment to the characters, you have to foster an attachment to your characters. You do that by dialogue. You do that by letting their characters show. You do that by letting their actions speak. I love the fact that they said the side quests are geared toward building your bonds with the characters. It's all story driven. When they started this project, I said they have got to get the characters right. Like, the characters are what make this story. The characters are what make this story one of the greatest stories ever written. Right? And I think we can all agree on that. Even down to Sephiroth and the Shinra characters, they're all the characters are good. All the characters are good. And the fact that they get that, the fact that they are tailoring everything built in this game around you getting a stronger bond with the characters for whatever the hell is going to happen at the end of the game, tells me we are in for a hell of a ride. Look, I'm becoming a Cait Sith fan. I'm becoming a Cait Sith fan. Like, everything they're showing me right now, everything I'm seeing, I'm kind of becoming a Cait Sith fan. Yeah, I'm with you, Prince. I'm getting eager to try Cait Sith out in combat and stuff. Scared for spoilers. This game is going gold soon. It will take one thumbnail recommendation to run. Look, you're safe here. I am not going to put that shit in the thumbnails. I'm not. You know, I'm just not going to do that. I mean, after everything that went down with Insomniac, I mean, I went scorched earth on Twitter about leakers. You all know how I feel about leakers anyway. If you don't, know it's nothing good. And if you support leakers, you can just leave my channel and my social media too, because I am full stop going to be out front with the picket signs against leakers from now on, after that crap they try to pull Insomniac. So, not to get off subject, but I will not be posting anything like that in my thumbnails in the lead up, no matter how bad I feel like I need viewers. Because when you're running a YouTube channel, it's all about the viewers. And you've seen the thumbnails. It's like, you know, what now? Can't believe it. And all this other kind of stuff. And it's just like shit they've talked about 5 times before. So, people eat that stuff up, though. People have told me I need to do that. And I'm like, nah, man, I'm not going to do that. I got too much integrity. I can't do that. You all trust me to not do that. So, I would agree with that, Nick. Template framework, yeah. And the thing is, all Final Fantasy games are supposed to be about the characters. That's why Final Fantasy is so many people's like favorite gaming franchise. But that's why Witcher 3 was so good as well, which Hamaguchi has referenced a few times, but referenced in this stuff that came out today. Characters are great. That's what made the side stories great. What's up, Steven Allen? How you doing? Appreciate the support, brother. Appreciate you being here finally on a stream. Always keeping it real. You know how we do it, man. You know how we do it around here. You been watching my stuff. Angeal sighting, or maybe even some Advent Children shenanigans. Yeah. I like 16 too. I'm playing through 16 again right now, as a matter of fact. I'm enjoying it better the second time now I know what's happening. If you watch the Nibelheim demo, you'll see Cloud's fighting style really strange. Do you think that's a hint we'll play as Zack? Oh yeah. I don't think there's any way we're not playing as Zack. I think that's one of the things that they're not showing us, if I'm being honest. The more loves the idea of characters sleeping. Kingdom Hearts 3 ending leaves that stuff. He needs to do the Super Mario Bros. 2 remake. Yeah. Who will be in Zack's party? Biggs, for sure. Cisne, since we're collecting D-level characters here. I always take a swipe at the Cisne characters, or Cisne fans, who are always like, she's got to be in it. Yeah, we gotta get every D-level character in the game in there. Let's see, Cisne, Yuffie, the Yuffie running around like Chocobo Yuffie. Yeah, she's gonna be in that party. Hopefully, probably. Biggs and Cisne for sure. Yeah. Versus 13. Yeah. We still have at least 2 trailers. I don't think we need 2. I think we just need 1. We'll probably get 1, like we've discussed with the marketing. The marketing rollout, what I tell you all, I say Game Awards, here comes the marketing rollout. And the marketing rollout is coming. We're going to see some more stuff like this. We're going to see more screenshots. We're going to see more interviews. We're going to see some more gameplay demo snippets. Hey, I got to play the full demo. Here's the video. That's Square Enix using content creators to promote their stuff, which is super smart. That's what all companies do now. Then, boom. Second to last week of January, we'll get another trailer. And then a few days before the game comes out, we will get the full-on launch trailer, which I am probably going to avoid. That's right, Proud Shipper 7, no clickbait. I missed it. What leaked about Insomniac? I'm not going to give it oxygen, man. No offense, I'm not trying to be troublesome or rude, but it's all over the internet. You can find it. I don't want to give it oxygen. So, right, so curious about what events are being moved around and what implications it will have. Yeah. So, before I got sick, I had a video planned where I was going to talk about events that we've already seen evidence they're going to move around or delete completely, or they moved into Remake. And one of them I think that's definitely getting moved is the scene where Cloud hands Sephiroth the Black Materia. I don't think he's going to be at the top of a glacier and stick it through the ice and materia to hand it to Sephiroth, his unconscious body there. I think we've already seen the representation of Sephiroth's awakening, and that was at the end of Remake. When the party busts him out of his purple prison, when they free him from his prison. I think that was that moment above Icicle Inn in the original game. I think that was a swap. So good question, but yeah, I might still do that video because there's a few things I think they're going to move around and swap. So, and also, I think the weapons will awaken earlier in this game, because if they're responding to a threat to the planet, what's a bigger threat currently than what the hell is happening? Sephiroth took control of the planet's ADT system, the planet's home security system. He has control of the Whispers now. What's a bigger threat than that? Unless the Whispers or the Cries of the Planet, which is what I think they are, the Cries of the Planet, or whatever, what if they're the ones that are supposed to awaken the weapons, and now they can't? A lot to think about. See, there's many different angles to tackle this thing from. Yeah, the game can't revolve around Zack. It can't. He'll be a part of it. And I thought it was interesting that the Game Informer article said, now that we've defeated the Whispers, no, you haven't. We've said you haven't defeated the Whispers. They're a part of Sephiroth now. And you haven't defeated Sephiroth. He has them at his disposal. At his disposal. So no, Game Informer, we have not defeated the Whispers. They're still around. They're in the scene with Aerith at the Forgotten Capital at the end. And that's something else to think about. Think outside the box. This is not me throwing a theory out there. This is like think outside the box. Square Enix is throwing a whole lot of... hang on a second. Square Enix is throwing a lot of misdirects out. A lot of misdirects. What if that scene with Aerith praying on the altar is the planet showing Cloud or someone else a vision of what could come? It's possible. I'm not saying that's what it is. It's possible. It's possible. That's why I'm like, what they've done with like the planet giving them visions in the first game and stuff has given them full license to completely fool us. Full license to completely fool us. So they can put that stuff in there and be like, well, that existed. We weren't just, we didn't make that up to misguide you or mislead you. Truth in marketing or whatever, truth in advertising. We laid the precedent for this. We laid the precedent for this in the first game. That's why when people were talking about time travel after the first game, I was like, there's no precedent for it. But they've laid the precedent for fooling us with imagery because they did it in the first game. So, and when Tifa's talking to Cloud in the second trailer, I think it was, and she says, I forgot what she says to him. She's sitting on the couch and calm at the hotel, and she says something to him, and right before it cuts to the next scene, you can see it fizzling to that green. I'm just saying, they've been very clever about how they're doing this. I'm very excited about a demo. I am so excited about a demo. Sora, yeah, I don't mind that, but here's my thing. It's Final Fantasy VII. You don't need to be ripping off ideas from Final Fantasy VIII. Like, 7 deserves better than that. You know, 7 deserves your best ideas. And that's why, like, when they said multiple timelines, multiverses, and I was like, it's been done. Let's do something new. 7 should be the standard bearer. It should get your best ideas from some of the most creative people in Japan that work at Square Enix. And the people they bring in for consultations. Like, they bring in manga creators, and they bring in, like, anime directors, and hell, they talk to Hollywood directors and stuff like that for consultation meetings and things like that when they're doing creative studies and all this other kind of stuff. This is basic, like, industry stuff, and they'll have, like, think tank meetings and bounce ideas around with NDAs on the table and everything, you know? But yeah, so it deserves your best and brightest ideas from the best creators out there. That's why I don't want to see them rehashing things that have been done, because it's going to be like, you know, it's going to come off as hacky. Yeah, I mean, there could be so much of this that's misdirect. If Whispers were actually defeated, then why do we see them? Yeah, exactly. Exactly, Sora. Excited that they made the boat ride a giant cruise. I actually am. Yeah, I'm actually kind of... Because when you fight Genova... When it shows the Genova fight happening in the boat in the second trailer, it's a lot of space. Like, it's a huge area that's affected. So yeah, I'm pretty stoked to check everything out there. Yeah, I don't think that's a theory, Sora. I think that's a fact. I think that's a possibility for sure. I think, you know, I think a lot of people have been talking about that. I think it's very possible. And even in the last trailer with Zack talking about, you know, I can feel the bullets ripping through my body. You know what I mean? That's either a misdirect, or it's the whole world being pulled apart and they're going to slam back together, you know, in some cataclysm. So, you know, things diverged, things changed the moment of him being saved. The game showed us that with the Whispers undulating back and forth with the soldiers. You know what I mean? So the things were changed the moment Zack was saved. I'm gonna die on that hill. If I'm wrong at the end, I'll be like, yo, I was totally wrong, but it was a fun ride, you know. But I think that definitely has something to do with it. He can feel the bullets because reality was ripped in two at the moment he was saved. I think that's got something to do with it. Gaia Prime Zack is still dead. He's still rotten, getting eaten by wolves and stuff in the wasteland. Like his remains are still being pulled down by the shore and everything. He wasn't buried. Cloud left him there, just a dead body. Unless that body got reclaimed by Shinra. Right? What happened to Zack Fair's body? You know, it wasn't buried. Unless Zangan came along with a caravan and buried him. Agree with the possibility of the Aerith shot being a flashback, flash forward memory, since it also has a kind of a greenish hue to it. Well, it has a greenish hue because the area there has a greenish hue at the Forgotten Capital. But yeah, I mean, anything's possible. Didn't they say in an interview Nomura's been conceptualizing the remake by himself? Yeah, and that's why I say orally is like they've got pads and pads and pads and digital assistants and cell phones full of notes and stuff they would have done differently if they had the technology all those years ago. We're seeing that now. That's what this is. This is Final Fantasy VII Ultimate Director's Cut. That's what the Remake Saga is. And I'm glad they're calling it the Remake Saga now, because for me that's the only one that ever made sense. Remake Trilogy, Rebirth Trilogy, what do we call it? Just call it the Remake Saga. The Remake Saga. It's easy. Boom. Bob's your uncle. There you go. Yeah, it's a cruise ship now. Well, the whole game tries to make Tifa look like some Genova Roth manipulation, but then at the end, the Aerith we see at the end of the trailer is just an illusion. That would be wild. That would be wild, Peach Booty. I'd probably be like, have some WTF energy at the end, but I come back ready to go for game 3. I'm like, all right, man, shake it off. Let's go. Whatever that was. Whatever that was. It's possible. Let's think about that for a second, though. So, like, so when the singularity dies down, they would, in essence, still be on the free or off of the freeway, right? It's possible. It's possible. The new screenshot of Calm is amazing. Absolutely amazing. The 4 Condor shot was my favorite. That was absolutely my favorite. Personally, I don't get into the whole shipping thing, but Square Enix pays attention to its fans, and it is definitely playing on that angle. The trailers, they are, man. Yeah, they're trying to get the shippers to rip themselves apart. Hey, man. Whatever floats your boat. You know what I mean? What up, Pete? Pete? You guys see 4 Condor? Yes, we saw it. It was amazing. Amazing. We went deep into that. You're so preoccupied with saving Aerith, but I think she's going to be a lot stronger than OG. Oh, she's already stronger than OG, for sure. The group art, she's in the middle, walking towards the world, weapon behind her back. Yeah, like, they do a lot with stance and positioning and directing decisions, especially with the key art. Like I've talked about this key art, they're dropping lots and lots of hints, right? Okay, so one thing in particular, the key art. Give me just a second. I'm gonna talk, but I'm gonna talk here. I'm gonna go find this key art real quick. I'll be right back. Give me just a second. I'm gonna find that key art. I've got it somewhere here. Because I got something I want to show you all. Where is it? Here it is. Okay, cool. Got it. Ooh, no, it's small. Boom. Boom. Right. Alright, cool. So, here is kind of a low-res version of the Final Fantasy VII key art. But look at this area. I don't know if anybody's talked about this or not, but this is approaching the end of the game. You've got your full party, right? When you're creating a world and you're making the world maps and stuff like that, there are key elements you look for, okay? You got your mountains back here. Mountains are usually around a river, right? River usually inlets to what? An ocean. So a big river, especially inlets or outlets to a delta, which goes into an ocean, that kind of thing. Snow-capped mountains. Where do we see snow-capped mountains in Final Fantasy VII? Icicle Inn area. Buried in these mountains here somewhere is the Forgotten Capital. We are looking at the party, Aerith here, ready to face her destiny. The whole party assembled. Forgotten Capital is over here somewhere. They are looking at the final destination of Rebirth here. And I am for it. Like, I'm really excited about that. When I saw this key art, I was like, man, I was like, I am ready. Like, And the snow-capped mountains are what give it away. Like, this is the Icicle Inn area. And hidden in the Icicle Inn area is where we're going to find the Forgotten Capital. Whole party's assembled. You can assume that down here somewhere is the Bone Village. Maybe it's right here. Maybe that's what that is right there. I'm not really sure. But they do a good job blocking it out. But I also think the party is going to approach from a different direction this time. I don't think they're going to get there quite the same way they did in the original game. I think they'll get there and approach from a different direction. That's what I think. Yeah, so this is, and again, this is just the key art. The directors saying, hey, if you got a keen eye, we're laying the game out for you here. With the key art, we're laying it out for you. Right here. And I knew we would get a shot with the whole party assembled facing fate, because that's the whole thing of the remake saga, is like, you know, battling against fate. The second part of that story will be realizing you can't fight against your fate and having to face your fate. And then ultimately having to conquer your fate, conquer what is holding you down. That will be where Cloud comes into the story. I'm excited. I'm super excited. Like, everything they're showing us. Well, the dirt thing, I don't know too much about that. Red 13's got 1 foot in the dirt. Yeah, Red 13's got 1 foot in the dirt right there. So, yeah. Yeah, so I love, let's see here real quick. Pop this down, bring this guy back up. This Sephiroth and the fire shot. Hang on, let me go find a better copy of this. We'll get the full shot with him and Cloud. And there we go. Okay, I'll say, and my internet stopped working. Alright, so everybody's gonna get a preview of my video for tomorrow right now. So, preview for all y'all. Let me read these comments real quick. Party knows what's coming future wise, so yeah, fighting fate and conquer your fate. I don't think the party knows what's coming. I think Aerith kind of has an idea of what's going on, but first, I think this is going to be far closer to the original game than has been led on. I think it's not timelines, but a spirit world. Nah, spirit world, I don't like that. That's a waste of our time, man. Like that is a bad misdirect. Like, so, and let me explain it again. Matt, first time I've seen you here. Welcome to the stream. The thing is, at the end of Remake, the creators made a deal with the viewer. They made a deal with the viewer. Like, let me talk about like Lord of the Rings, right? At the end of Lord of the Rings, Peter Jackson makes a deal with the viewer. He's like, yo, at the end of Fellowship of the Ring, here's Sam and Frodo looking at Mount Doom, right? Here's Aragorn, Gimli, and Legolas. They're chasing after Merry and Pippin, you know? The director is making you promises where the story is going, right? At the end of Remake, the director makes a promise, makes a deal with the viewer. Hey, look, Zack survived. What happened? More on that in Rebirth. We'll get to that in Rebirth. What happened? If it's like some spirit walk journey or whatever, that's a bad deal. That's making a bad deal with the audience, and that is how you lose faith in a project. for a lot of people, and they know they can't risk that. So I don't think that's what it is. I don't think that's what it is. But I do think it's going to be close, super close to the original game. And it's like I've said many times, I feel like this is just like Final Fantasy VII Director's Cut. Like everything, like coming back years later with new technology and new ideas and wanting to tell their story again, but tell it completely and give it the service that it deserves. So I think that's really what they're doing. But adding in all this stuff from the compilation, adding in all these other details, all this extra stuff, different ways it can go, getting more meat on the bone and more interest in the story. Bring it, man. Bring it. It's the greatest story ever told in a video game. Pull all your guns out, baby. Do it up. Do it up. Because for a lot of these guys, this might be their last big project with Square Enix. Yeah, Pete. I think that would be really cool if the High Wind was up there, but I'm really thinking we don't get the High Wind until Game 3. I really think we don't get the High Wind until game number 3. That's just my thoughts. So anyway, Baby Cloud. Yeah. Yeah, the stuff with Cloud and Nibelheim is going to be fantastic. When he figures out who he is. So, dude, Steven, I told you Sea of Stars was my goatee last year. My goatee. It was the best game I played last year. Alan Wake was second. Yeah, they showed the High Wind. I don't think we're going to get it, is what I'm saying. I don't think we're going to get it until game number 3. That's what I'm saying, Pete. Although, like, that would be a cool way to open game 3. Like, if you're going to open game 3 with rescuing Barrett and Tifa from Shinra, that's when you get it anyway, right? That's when you would get it logically anyway. So just save it for that, and then you've got all of game 3 with the High Wind. That would be amazing. Yeah, I think Cloud has a feeling. I think somewhere in his feelings he gets that something's going to happen to Aerith. Like, I think he's got like a sinking feeling that something's going to happen to Aerith, something bad. But I don't think he knows when and where she's going to die. I don't think that's the case. Maybe though. He could. He might. Yeah, the tiny Bronco is actually going to fly from what they've said in the trailer, or said in some of the resource material. Yeah, Sea of Stars is fantastic. So anyway, in this shot here, let me try and blip blip blip. Okay, that's what that, okay. Let me expand my horizons. Okay, so this is the Game Informer shot. One of the cool things I thought as soon as I saw this key art is we've heard the saying many times before, especially used in fiction, talking about like the Phoenix and all that kind of stuff, the flames of rebirth, you know? So, get a good look at this. The flames of rebirth. This is making the shape of Meteor, right? So they're making us a promise. Meteor is going to tie into the black materia, and Meteor is going to tie into this. This is still Sephiroth's plan, Meteor. What is going on with my mouse? Hang on. Yeah. There we go. So, Sephiroth's plan is still to use the black materia and Meteor. The flames of rebirth are spreading and engulfing Cloud right here. Cloud is still a part of the plan. How much of the plan? We don't know. But Sephiroth's ambition is engulfing Cloud right here. And this is not just simple imagery, I don't think, to say that, oh, he was affected by Nibelheim. Well, yeah, he was affected by Nibelheim. But yeah, this is pretty potent imagery right here, discussing, you know, starting the conversation about Sephiroth and his plan for Cloud. So I think that's really wild. Yeah, they saved the best cover of the year for last. When Aerith said you can't fall in love, well, no, I don't think that was Genova. And also, I think Aerith's gonna die, but I think she's gonna die differently. And they kind of spoiled it. It's gonna be a shock kill. I think it's gonna be I think it's gonna be a shocking, sudden like kill, because they said, I'm paraphrasing, but in the article it was something like, you know, I find that the most shocking thing or shocking loss of a character or something like that is one you don't see coming and it happens suddenly or something like that, which is kind of what they did in the OG game, but we all know it's going to be coming. We all know to be ready for it. I think something's going to happen right there. A battle, whatever, you know what I mean? And then, boom, something else happens and, yeah. Yeah, black feather, no sword. So, but I mean, we know the sword is supposed to drop right there in that scene. So, it'll be interesting to see what they do with it. Black feather could be Genesis, but yeah, I don't think in that moment it is, because I think if you really want to make people hate Genesis, like I don't like you, I hate this character kind of hate. That's not the kind of hate you want for a character. Like, you want like Aizen, you want Sosuke Aizen hate. You want like Emperor Palpatine hate. You want Sephiroth hate. You don't want just think of any terrible character, you know. You don't want that kind of hate, you know. That would give Genesis, excuse me, that kind of hate. I think Genesis should be a potent character, but I think he's gonna be chaotic good. I think Genesis will be chaotic good in Rebirth. That would be interesting. That would be interesting. Like if Genesis saves Aerith and he swoops her up in his arms and she reaches up and she touches his face, he goes, "You're hot like a rock star," and she dies and faints of a heart attack. I just spoiled the ending for everybody. I told you I wouldn't do spoilers. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to spoil it for everybody. I am so sorry. I went against my word. I went against my creed. I am sorry. You are hot like a rock star. Zach's like, "Hey, what am I, chopped liver?" Well, Matt, I can't answer that question because I haven't seen the Rebuild series. The last Evangelion I saw was when they were doing the 2.2 movie or whatever those were. Man, I lose track. But so I don't know how they did that with Neon Genesis Evangelion. But you know what? Like, there were so many inspirations for Final Fantasy VII, the original, and there are so many inspirations they're using now for Rebirth. You can see a lot of them. You can see the Lord of the Rings. You can see the Matrix. You can see the Matrix all over this thing, right? As far as like thematically and the themes that are used in the Matrix, and as far as like Rebirth and all that kind of stuff. Hell, the Rebirth theme may have actually came from the Matrix itself. So, Darth Vader spoil. I still see Genesis. Man, I hope not. Man, I really hope not. But you're probably right. You're probably right, Mr. Saunders. I hope not, but you're probably right. I think Cloud will be the one dealing the blow this time. Maybe he gets fully controlled. We'll see, Ignacio. We've talked about that a few times. The only thing thematically about, and I know I'm real blotchy right now. I apologize. Like, it's real cold and real dry where I'm at, and I get real bad. Look at these hands. I get real bad dry skin when the weather gets real cold and dry. So I apologize. I need to call my makeup person here. Hey. Oh wait, I'm broke. I don't have a makeup person. Anyway, we've talked about that before, Ignacio. I just think, as far as like the hero of the game, you could have a secondary character have that happen to them, and maybe they have like some kind of like self-affirming end where they take one for the team, or they go down with a ship or whatever to make up for what they had done. But for the hero of the story, for Cloud, there's no coming back from that. There's no coming back. Now, Tifa shippers would argue with that, right? Tifa shippers would be like, no, he could totally kill Aerith. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, that's cool. Actually makes him a better hero, right? Makes him a better hero. Cloudy. No, Cloud can't come back from that. He can't come back. I went through intermission again here recently, and I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed it more the second time around because I kind of knew how much I was in for and what I was kind of in for. So I enjoyed it more so the second time around. Thank you, Orly. Just don't know who the guy with the white feather is. You know, again, this is probably something I'm going to be wrong about, and I'm totally cool with it. I'm a big boy. You see this gray? See this gray? I've been wrong a lot. Oh, by the way, I'm totally going to dye this probably tomorrow or whatever. I'll be looking hot again, baby. But no, like, I've been sick. I haven't cared. I don't give a shit. Probably going to be wrong about this, but I think just symbolically, I think the white feather represents change. I think that's what they were going for there. Like, it is change. Like, it was the first shot we saw of... Was it the announcement trailer for Rebirth? I think it was the announcement trailer, right? Where we see Cloud and Sephiroth walk around playing that really cool, like, chaotic music. That like, that was a great trailer. I think it was that trailer. I think it just symbolizes change. And again, I'm probably wrong about that. I don't think it's a character. I don't think it's anything like that. I think it's the director and the team showing you creatively, hey, this has changed. So white feather, that's different from what you're usually seeing from us. It's not the black feather, baby. It's different. So I think that's all that was. Well, thank you, Krypton Gamer. I appreciate it. Yeah, I do use moisturizers in the wintertime. I do the whole wash my face and at the end of the night and moisturize and all that kind of stuff. Just where I was sick, had strep throat for like a week, I felt like doing jack. I really missed coming on here too. Like, I know whenever I have my sick spells and I come on, I'm like, I missed you guys, but I really do. I really miss coming on here and hanging out with you all. Shippers are wild, man. Imagine devoting your existence to fictional characters and who they bang. Yeah, man. I don't know, man. I mean, to each their own. Whatever gets you through the day, right? Life is hard. I understand. I'm not into anything that I would consider super strange or anything like that. But, I mean, I don't know. Whatever gets you through the day. It's not my thing. And I do heckle it roundly here on this channel. Maybe that's why I have a fraction of the subscribers a lot of other people do, because I don't pander to the shippers. I don't mind the shippers, though. I don't try to start fights with them or anything like that. But I also don't understand it. I don't know. It's wild. But I guess if people were shipping characters I created, I'd be cool with it. I'd be like, hey, man, this means people are enjoying it. You know, I try to look at it from that standpoint, too. Also, has anyone noticed that both Sephiroth and Aerith have said, Cloud, lend me your strength? I don't think Aerith is talking to Cloud at the end of that trailer. I think she's talking to the planet. I think she's talking to the planet. Yes, yes, I have checked out the Rebirth OST on YouTube. It is finger licking good, baby. It is amazing. Yeah, that could be another misdirect, but I think it's her talking to the planet. Angeal did have the white feather in Crisis Core, but Zack also said at the end of Crisis Core, those wings, I want them too. Maybe now, look, here's the deal that I haven't seen anybody talk about. Maybe that's a precursor. Maybe Zack is going to get the white wings, right? Maybe Zack gets the white wings. He said, Angeal, I want those wings too. He didn't live long enough to get them. Now maybe he does. Now maybe he does. How about that? How about that? Put that in your theory pipe and smoke on it. I'll just give them out. We'll just give them out here on this channel. What's a shipper? It's like a person who loves captaining ships. No. It's people who romance fictional characters who may or may not be romantically involved in a fictitious anime or video game or something like that. Well, that's the thing. Toxic fandom makes anything raw. You know what I mean? Like, I talk to shippers on here all the time. Hell, there's people with shipper in their name, and we're totally cool, man. You know, but it's the toxic ones that drive me crazy. But it's the toxic ones in any fan base that drive me crazy. It's the toxic Star Wars people. It's the toxic FFs. There are so many toxic Final Fantasy VII fans. So many. And it's hard to talk to them. You know, it really is. That's why I like what we've cultivated here. I feel like everybody here is pretty reasonable. We can disagree, but not on like a toxic level where it's like, okay, you're banned. You know? Yeah, I'm Team Boofus, baby. Barrett and Rufus. Let's go. Team Boofus. Hashtag Team Boofus. Yeah, well, see, Proud Shipper 7, see, you're one of the people I was actually thinking of in my head. Yeah, totally cool. Have fun. Do your thing. You know what I mean? Well, look, I love romance. Like, you know, I'm getting a show off the ground right now, and I've got another show we're planning, you know, and once Aurora is on TV, I've got a gothic horror show that we're planning right now, and there's so much stuff happening, but romance is a big part of storytelling. I love writing romance. I love writing romance with my characters and with the stories, and because at the end of the day, it's love that drives humans to do good and evil things. So that's at the heart of pretty much every great story is some kind of love, you know? Genesis sucks and I know it. I don't know it, actually, Mr. Saunders. Why don't you tell me how bad I think he sucks? I think he's a wonderful concept of a character. And I think there's a lot to chew on there if they execute him properly. But see, Genesis' degradation was healed, right? It was healed when he was sent back by the planet. Well, see, Nick, that's okay. That's okay. That's not being a toxic fan if you don't think something was good. But there are some toxic fans that are just like racist and everything else. Not because you didn't like something. Like, because you don't like the direction of the new Disney Star Wars, that doesn't make you misogynistic. That just means you like good movies. Like, but you know the types I'm talking about. There are racist and misogynistic people out there that kind of hide behind fandom. That's toxic as hell. Or they want to put their own politics or spin into it or agenda or whatever. That's toxic, man. No room for that stuff. You can say the Disney Star Wars movies suck, and you wouldn't be wrong. You wouldn't be wrong, but but that doesn't make you toxic. That just means you have an opinion. See, I can tell the difference, brother. I can tell the difference. Do I think we will get Phoenix at Fort Condor? Well, I think we could definitely see Phoenix at Fort Condor. But see, right now with Square's Misdirects, I'm not sure if that's a statue or if there's something else is going on there. I'm uncertain right now. Oh yeah, like I am prepping to play. I wanted to play Rebirth like at the beginning of January, or Remake. Of course, I'd love to play Rebirth at the beginning of January. I'm gonna play Remake in February, and I'm gonna do it 2 weeks before 2 weeks before the game comes out. So right after Valentine's Day, probably. If Genesis shows up in Rebirth, the perfect moment. Dude, like I would have him watching from Calm. Like I would have him watching, just show up and watch the party, like hidden somewhere in the background in Calm. Like right before Shinra attacks, looking for them, because we know Shinra attacks. Like have him there in the crowd, like watching from a distance, and then maybe he like vanishes in the crowd or something, and then Shinra attacks. You know, that would be perfect. That would be awesome. That would be so dope. Imagine everyone coming out of Rebirth actually loving Genesis. It could happen. It could happen. Look, I've said many a time here on this channel. Just treat Genesis like Auron from Final Fantasy X. Just make him Auron. That's it. Make him a little more grizzled. I mean, he's not going to be gray-haired and wrinkly or anything. He's not going to be older, but make his attitude harder. Make him a little more quiet. Everything is not about a fucking poem, dude. And I think that with him was broken at the end of Crisis Core. Like, he got his loveless ending. The friends were reunited. And the hero was on his way. You know? He got his loveless ending. He even got to meet the goddess, you know? And she was like, nah man, fuck you, I'm sending you back. He was turned away, you know? But when he came back, his cellular degradation was ended. Like, they're not just gonna forget about that. They're not just gonna forget about that. So... Genesis is the G-Man. And plus, you know, they had the G-type specimens in Remake. Look, everybody thinking Genesis isn't going to be in this game is just delusional. They're like hiding from it. Yeah, exactly. Let's go, Socks. That, like, he's not necessarily a focal point. Like, I think at some point it would be cool if he did battle Sephiroth, like in Game 3, to like buy the party time, or something's gonna happen and Genesis like throws off a tattered cloak and goes at him with the spell blade. This fucking spell blade, that was dope. And they have their rematch. And Sephiroth beats him. And Sephiroth kills Genesis in the rematch. But that, yes, and Genesis gets to go out the hero he thought he was. And he buys time for the real heroes of the story. Yes! He's kind of like a mentor in a way, or kind of like a guide, you know? A cool way to think of Genesis in the Remake Saga? You all remember how they portrayed Red Skull in Avengers Infinity War, or Endgame? He had the hood. He was on that one planet where they had to get the Soul Stone or whatever. And like you knew it was Red Hood, but he wasn't like Red Hood anymore. I mean Red Skull, not Red Hood, Red Skull. He was like, it was Red Skull, but he wasn't Red Skull anymore. You know, like that's kind of how I see what they could do with Genesis. I think that would be super dope. Yeah, the execution for him in Crisis Core was not fantastic. I'll be the first to admit that. But I don't know, just looking as a writer and director and looking at that character, you're like, man, don't let that be a missed opportunity. That's the thing. It's like, don't let that be a missed opportunity. Oh, easy. That's easy, son. Like, you know, getting your ass whooped, getting punched in the mouth does a lot to change your demeanor. When Zack whoops his ass at the end of Crisis Core and the planet sends him back, no. We don't want you in the live stream. He's like, I'm ready to die and be one with the live stream. My goddess. Nah, I ain't having it right now. And send him back? That's humbling. That's humbling. He's a humbled character who is now a ward of the planet with a different mission. He's not just some soldier gallivanting around. I killed my parents. Hey, I invented apple juice. Look at me. I've got all kinds of chicks. I'm the panty dropper. I got like this. I got all these chicks, the red leather group, sending me emails, slipping into my DMs. And all I want to do is quote Loveless all day. He ain't that dude anymore. He ain't that dude anymore. I'm telling you all. He's going to be stoic. Stoic. Even at the end of Dirge of Cerberus, before they had the idea to have him quoting Loveless all the time, he's not quoting Loveless at the end of Dirge of Cerberus. Planet's like, nah, man, you ain't him. You ain't him. You may have invented apple juice. You may have, like, Shinra fangirls dropping their panties, but you ain't him. You got to go back. You got to go back and hang out with the guy who just whooped your ass. And he's going to carry you around. And you're going to be humbled. You're going to be humbled. But just a character who is technically on the level of Sephiroth, power-wise. A rival. Grew up with him. That kind of thing. You know what I mean? I think that, and I think Angeal should stay dead. Zack is Angeal's living legacy. Just like Cloud is Zack's living legacy and whatever's going on there. You don't want to muddy two of those, right? Now, Genesis take one look at Cloud's sword and be like, yo, did you kill him? How'd you get that sword, man? Well, it's a long story. Yeah, I'm still on board with the one timeline theory. I've been riding that one. I've been riding that one since the beginning. But one timeline that's kind of like shattered at this point. Like pieces of it are kind of like pulled apart and then coming back together. So, and one really interesting way to look at this is like, what's going to be telling is what's going on with Shinra, right? What's going on with Shinra? Because I've said that Rufus Shinra is going to be a big part of this story. I think a lot of figuring out what's going on in the story is going to have to do with Rufus Shinra. Because the direction from the end of the game made a point to focus on Rufus and lined up the rogues gallery from Shinra to end the game right there. They were telling us, yo, these characters are going to be pivotal for you figuring out what's going to happen in the next game. Boom. So, if you know what to look for, and I'm not saying I know everything to look for because I don't, you know, but the things I see that the game gives us, I'm like, oh, that's good. Oh, That's good stuff. Thank you for showing me that. Thank you for showing me that. Man, yes, absolutely, that's good stuff. All over the place. Like, all over that first game. Yeah, the white feather thing, I haven't, to be honest, I haven't thought much about the white feather thing, because I just look at it as symbology. It's symbolic, you know? Not symbology in the way of, like, Star Ocean. But, yeah, I think, I just think that's symbolic. Maybe not, though. Maybe not. Well, something to remember about whatever's going on with fractured reality, one timeline, multiple realities. The thing to remember is everything was fine until Sephiroth tampered with fate at the crossroads of destiny. Everything was fine until then. So that point is where it flies off the rails. So that's, I think, crafting any theory, like, I think that's the point to remember. That's where things go off the rails, you know, is that moment. That moment that Zack is saved. And I still think Butterfly Effect has something to do with that, and maybe they're attacking it from a different angle, you know, like it is like one timeline being pulled apart and it's going to come back together. You know, like you can't keep it apart forever. And I think the whole 7 seconds till the end, edge of creation, I think all that stuff, I think it's going to tie in. I think Bugenhagen is going to have some more insight into that stuff. I think what they've shown us so far tells me that we are in for a hell of a ride and a fantastic story. And I can't wait to see what they cook up. I'm legitimately excited now after seeing this today, and the stuff in here, and the stuff from my favorite new rock star Hamaguchi, Naoki Hamaguchi. Like, seeing all the stuff they're sharing with us and giving us right now, while still not even giving us a lot. Like, a lot of this stuff is stuff, if you've noticed, the stuff they're feeding us, they're watching all channels, like all major channels. I'm not a major channel. They're not watching me, I don't think. A couple of people during Remake watched me, but I don't think anybody at Square Enix is watching me. That's fine. A lot of big YouTubers watch me, and they watch them. So, in essence, they're kind of watching me. But they watch all the big channels, all the big YouTubers, all the big theory crafters, all the big Twitches and YouTubes. They watch all the big ones. They're feeding us what people are already putting out there. It's a brilliant marketing strategy, and one that I think other game companies will take in the future if they do like a multi-game arc that generates this much interest. But I don't think there will be anything like this again. Maybe ever. I mean, this might be it for something like this big, generating this much hype. This might be it. You know, as far as like multi-games and stuff like that. So, it'll be interesting to see what they do. But this stuff has got me super hyped. I'm over the moon with what we got today. And if I'm being honest, I don't need anything else. I really don't. Now, will I cover whatever comes out? Sure. Unless it's a leak. Unless some kind of hack or leak or something like that. Because if you all remember, that kind of happened when Remake was coming out. It got leaked and all that other kind of stuff. I'm not covering that stuff. Other channels will. They'll grow by thousands of subscribers. I'm not that dude. I'm not going to do that. I'm just not. You know? So. Channel is Major Tome. Like a tome? Like, what are we talking about? Supposed to be Major Tom? Oh, okay. Two Buster Swords. Yeah, there's two. I think it's kind of insinuated, low G man, that Cloud reclaimed his Buster Sword that Sephiroth knocked away from him once he disappeared. Or that was all in Cloud's mind. That was all in Cloud's mind. Which I think that was all in Cloud's mind. Because we're getting a version of Sephiroth coming to Cloud. The Sephiroth that Cloud personally remembers is in his head in all of Remake. And so he's coming to Cloud. So at the end of the game, to show Sephiroth's power, he brings Cloud to him. Where he's at. He's at the edge of creation. He's omnipotent. He's everywhere. You know? Like, now that he's been freed, he is like boundless. But he still has a plan. So, yeah, I think that was all in his mind. To get off track a little bit, but I think that was all in his mind. I'm the only one who still can't believe we live in a time where FF7 Remake is actually on the brink of being released. This to me is the most important release of the game. Yeah, man, it is. Like, nothing holds a candle to this. There are other games I love. You all know I'm a huge Castlevania fan. I'm a huge Resident Evil fan. I'm praying lit candles every day to whoever's listening for a Chrono Trigger remake. None of that holds a candle to this game. None of it. None of it. This game changed the industry. This game gave birth to countless game designers who went on to start companies, to make other AAA GOTY titles. This game put them on their path. So yeah, there will never be this again. This is the biggest release ever, and I think Square Enix is handling it masterfully. Kevin, I apologize. I hate to hear that, man. Prayers for you, brother. I will say I hope the story doesn't get too dicey with multiple Clouds and Aeriths and Tifa's and stuff, with some alive and some world and some dead and the others. I have faith in. Yeah, I think it's 2. You can't go more than 2. If you go more than 2, then everybody, like, here's the deal. We all know somebody personally or online or whatever that, you know, for whatever reason they didn't like the direction of Remake, and they had some things to say after the end of Remake, and they're out. If you go more than 2 versions of all these characters, you justify everything those people are saying, and you can't disagree with it. That's my point in all this. And people have like bashed me on it. When I say that, I'm like, no, that's valid. Like, if they get too crazy with this shit, if they get too crazy and out there with it, and it's just like there's nobody keeping Nomura's imagination kind of like reeled in, you know what I mean? Then all those people and all those things they said are justified. But I don't think that's going to happen. I don't. E3 2013 Castlevania Lords of Shadow 2 is the hypest trailer still. That's right, Sean Strickland. That is my favorite trailer of all time. I don't know. Yeah, I think you were here on the stream when we did that. That is my favorite game trailer of all time. The music, him going through Marie's tomb, him dragging his hand on it, opening up, and then you've got everything in front of them, and then it starts playing that slow rendition of Vampire Killer. He's out there just wrecking the army of God. I mean, it's like, good God. And then the game came out. Went over like a fart in church, man. Yeah, in OG7, that's absolutely true. That's absolutely true, Rick. But I think it's different now. I think it's different. I think they wanted to make Sephiroth a more present and potent character. Because, yeah, you're pretty much just fighting Genova the whole time. And I think they wanted to put the stamp on it and say, no, you're in this, it is Sephiroth. He is the baddie in this. So... yeah, the game was a little underwhelming, but Lords of Shadow 1 is a masterpiece. Like, I love the first Lords of Shadow. And as much as I love Castlevania Curse of Darkness, I would have been fine with them saying, "No, Lords of Shadow, this is the genesis of Dracula." But I didn't like what they did in Mirror of Fate by taking Trevor and turning him into Alucard. That's why I was like, okay, no. I liked Mirror of Fate. It was a fun game, but nah, man, it lost me. Yeah, I say 3 could be late 2025, early 2026. If by some way both Cloud and Aerith cheat death and end up together in the same timeline, I still feel that they will have to die to keep... Yeah, I mean, those two characters, I think that's part of the tragedy of Final Fantasy VII, but it's also tragic the way they die. Like, that's not how they chose to go. And I think there's an element of that, and they touched on it. Nomura and Hamaguchi both kind of touched on that today. There's an element of the tragic way in which both of them die that I think still has to be present. They can't just both walk hand in hand into the live stream at the end of the game. That is not the same thing. That is not the same thing. And I think that's what a lot of people are complaining about. And that's a complaint I have too. Like, I don't want them to just peaceably walk into the live stream together at the end, look back and smile at everybody like the end of Advent Children, because that makes the end of Advent Children obsolete. You know? I think they still have to go out tragically. I do. They can go crazy, Socks. They can go crazy and still not lose the fan base, because they know this is their one shot. They don't get another shot to do this. This is it. So that's the element that gets lost in all the theory speculation and all the guessing and all that kind of stuff, is the human element of it. This is so important to these people. These developers, these people. This story is these characters are so important to them. They're everything is on the table. They're having brainstorming sessions, they're having directorial sessions and things like that, and they're laying out scenarios and stuff. All the ideas are on the table, but at the end of the day, they're going to stay true to this story because it's that important. They're listening to all ideas and they're whittling it down, and at the end of the day, I think they're going to make the right choices with the story. So I'm trusting them. Oh, Dracone, don't even get me started. Don't even get me started, man. Of course. Can I put a saucy, controversial thought into the ether? While the Castlevania series has been good in the way that it brings the series to light, I don't care for how they've written the characters. I think the writing is pretty bad. That's just me. I know the characters front and back in Castlevania, and I know a lot of the characters didn't have speaking lines and things like that, but I know what they're supposed to be like, you know. And I didn't mind the changes they made to Trevor, but the changes they made to Richter, the changes they made to Maria, nah, man, Maria's completely wrong, and Richter is close to completely wrong. He's pretty fucking wrong. Like, I loved Sypha. She was my favorite character from all of it. She benefited the most from writing it, rewriting it, and Warren Ellis and everything he did with the show. The best character in Nocturne so far is Olrox. He's the best character. I didn't like how they portrayed Alucard at all. At all. Like him and Trevor flipping each other fingers or whatever, and I was like, okay, I get it. An angsty 12-year-old wrote this. Oh wait, no, Warren Ellis wrote this. Oh, well, it comes off like a pissed off 12-year-old wrote this. So, why do they all talk like this? Why does everybody in the show talk like this? They talk at a low volume. Everybody talks like this. Everybody's angry. Everybody's cognate and angry, and everybody talks like this. And I don't understand. And you can't hear half what they're saying, because the next thing is like, it's explosions and whips and screaming and explosions and swords clashing, and then you got to turn the volume back up after the action scene, because then everybody's talking like this again. Oh, yeah, snarky comment here, snarky comment there. Yeah, okay, yeah, sure. Oh my God, it drives me crazy. It's like trying to watch The Walking Dead. You know, you have to turn the volume up 20 levels when they all start talking like this to each other, and then everybody's just like talking like this back and forth, and then the next scene cuts in, and it's just like, and it's like, God, who's bouncing the sound on this shit? But yeah, that's my quick take on that. But yeah, so I am interested in a Final Fantasy VII Remake Saga developer diary when this is all done. I want to see the meetings. I hope they videoed some of the meetings. I hope they yeah, dude, Sean, I have to yeah, I had to turn on subtitles for Nocturne. Had to turn on subtitles. I was like, I don't know what the fuck they're saying half the time. Don't know. And I'm sick of turning the volume up and down. So, what is up with this mumbly shit? And no character coming in. It's like, it's so flat. Like, the characters in Nocturne are so flat. And it's like they mashed up the storylines for Castlevania Bloodlines and Rondo of Blood. And they're trying to shoehorn it all to go to Symphony of the Night. And I'm just like, or you could have just, you know, done the story the way it's supposed to be. You could have done that. That would have worked. That probably would have worked out good, right? The animation's fantastic. Like, the animation is fantastic in all the Castlevania shows. What Powerhouse Animation has done with the actual animation side of it and the art direction and all that stuff is phenomenal. It's fucking crazy what they've pulled off. The Steven Universe guys, what they pulled off with Castlevania is amazing. And I'm going to watch it all as it comes out. I don't know, something about the way they direct their voice actors, or I don't know, it's all mumbly, but that's a trend now. That's a trend. And I'm like, I hope that trend dies soon. Dies in this fire right here. The trend of mumbly dialogue in shows and in animation. I hope that's what Sephiroth is cutting down here as the fire strokes off of his blade. I hope very much so that is what is happening right there. I'm going to take a quick break, everybody. I'll be right back, and we will get more discussion in. Oh, we're going to get it in. We're going to get it in. Anyway, I'll be right back. back. Look, I'll tell you what. For all of you all that are wanting great, deep characters and good writing and stuff, I gotta take this opportunity to plug my project, Aurora, of which at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time tomorrow night, the new website will be live. We're having an about section for the world. We're going to have all different kinds of stuff on their character bios. It's going to be a shop. There's going to be all kinds of stuff. We're getting ready for a big 2024 for Aurora. I really hope all of you all will be a part of it. So when the new site is live tomorrow, I'll be sending out links. Go check it out. See for yourself. And you decide what you think. So I'll be very excited to get that up. I'll be excited for all of you all to read and check out Aurora. Volume 3 comes out in February. Volume 4 comes out this summer. Volume 5 will be out in the fall. So we're very excited. Plus the animated series is in production right now. So give it a shot. See what you think. I'm really excited to get more out. Shane with the $10. Appreciate you, brother. How's it going, Rat? I'm good, man. Hey, you gave me $10, man. You can call me Rat. That's fine. Been a wild few weeks. Little Phoenix has made his way into the world at 5 pounds, 12 ounces. Sorry, but hey, dude. Awesome, man. Congratulations. You're dad. Everybody, throw the ones up in the chat for Shane here. New dad. Maybe an existing dad with a new kid. I don't know. I don't know that well, but congratulations, man. Hope Phoenix is happy and healthy and well on their way to big things. Good to be back, Dracone. Appreciate you there. So Aurora is I will tell you all a little bit about it here real quick. Aurora is a action fantasy epic. I started writing it as a novel, a series of novels while I was in college, and then it turned into like doing a comic book and then collecting it as a series in a graphic novel format. So it's spun into this whole wild and crazy thing. We've got an animated series in production right now. 2 volumes are currently out. It centers around 2 main characters, Anea, who is the last known Auroran. Aurora was a floating archipelago. It kept the peace in the world of Sereth. It disappeared in one night, and nobody knows what happened to it. So fast forward some years later, Anea has been found living in a place called the Darklands, which is once a mighty empire itself that fell to kind of what is suspected to be the same curse that took Aurora out. Unfortunately, Renzia Windlance is commissioned to take her to find out what happened to her and her people in this kingdom to keep her safe. So that's where the story kicks off. They've got this assassin chasing who's kind of like a religious zealot. He's after what is in his religion. It's called the Valura, but it's kind of like the Antichrist in his religion. Like he thinks that Anea is the Valura, but turns out to not be the case. So that's where the story kicks off. Lots of characters, lots of crazy stuff happens. Heavily influenced by the Lord of the Rings, heavily influenced by 90s JRPGs that I played, super heavily influenced by certain specific anime and manga, namely Record of Lodoss War, Full Metal Alchemist. I could go on and on with the things that influenced it. We've got a killer voice cast. We've got Steve Bloom from Cowboy Bebop. He's in it. We've got Michelle Ruff, Johnny Young Bosch, both of them from Bleach. We've got John Eric Bentley and Austin Matthews attached from Final Fantasy VII Remake. I host more. I can't wait to show more to you all. But we are rocking and rolling, man. And we have been working really hard on this. So I'm really excited. Has everybody seen the sizzle reel for Aurora? Has everybody seen it? If not, I'll show it to you real quick. Let me pull it up here. We'll show it. I never get tired of showing it. Never ever get tired of showing it. Let's see here. Maximize. What's my volume sitting at? Okay. There. Where'd you go, screen? Where you at? There we go. All right. This is the sizzle reel that we're using to pitch Aurora to various companies and networks and streaming services. So this is the finished sizzle reel. Here we go.
For centuries.
Hang on.
The land of Aurora.
Whoop, whoop. Womp, womp. Here we go. Here we go.
For centuries, the land of Aurora kept watch over the inhabitants of Sephiroth from the skies above. Powerful, yet peaceful. Willing.
I'll start that over as I saw my music.
For centuries, the land of Aurora kept watch over the inhabitants of Sephiroth from the skies above. Powerful, yet peaceful. Willingly teaching their ways to all who sought enlightenment. However, nothing lasts forever.
And I did all the animation for this stuff.
A mysterious force laid
all the
siege to
directing and
Aurora.
everything.
With no clues and no apparent survivors. The fate that befell the great and powerful Skylands is shrouded in darkness and mystery. With Aurora gone, chaos and darkness slowly took hold of Sephiroth. To this day, the Darklands lie empty and hopeless as monsters and the wicked alike prey on anyone who strays from the safety of their towns. Though it would seem a small glimmer of hope has begun to shine through the darkness.
The last Aurora. That's Renzia, the bum that's kind of hired to take her to where she needs to go.
No heroes here. Plenty of statues of dead ones, though.
That's Johnny Young Bosch playing Renzia, one of our two main characters, and Steve Bloom did the voiceover for that. So, no mumbling. No mumbling in this. Very important. No mumbling. No mumbling. Michelle Ruff also did our... she did our voice directing for the pilot, and she's going to be our voice director for the series. So we're very excited about that, and I'm so stoked to have the official site dropping tomorrow night. We're going to have a multimedia section too, where you can get some, you can download some desktop wallpapers for your phone, stuff like that. I'm going to be putting crazy wild stuff up all the time. I've got a development diary that I have been keeping tabs on for the better part of 2 years now. I'm hoping sometime in February to start getting those videos ready to put out and we're launching a official YouTube channel for Aurora. So if you have not subscribed to the official Aurora YouTube channel, you can do so. I'll put a link in the chat and you can check that out. January 1, we are going to have content popping up on the Aurora YouTube channel. We're very excited about it. I'm also going to be putting up motion comics, stuff like that. We're going to be doing little 3 to 5 minute animated shorts, like filling in kind of the history of the world. We've got a whole prologue. We've got like a whole 5-minute prologue that Steve Bloom recorded that I directed him on, which was super awesome. And we're going to be getting that up in probably February. It's like a whole prologue, like classic anime used to have at the beginning, you know. We're very excited about that. So yeah, lots of stuff coming. I was trying to find something, but I can't find it. Trying to find it, but I can't find it, man. Oh well. There. Okay. Yep, she did. Absolutely. Hey, I appreciate it. Yeah, like I'm really excited about the Aurora YouTube channel because it's going to give me a chance to put other elements of the story out there in a way that I hadn't been able to before. And working more on the comic has been fun. I've got a couple of editors now that I'm working with, bouncing things off of them, so we're very excited. We're really ready to steamroll 2024. I mean, we are ready to get it. I'm trying to... Here, hang on just a second. I'm sorry. Bear with me for just a moment. There. Okay. Okay. Let's try to find a couple of things here. I thought I saw some Rebirth stuff that I hadn't seen yet, so that's what I was looking for on my phone, but it wasn't what I thought it was. So apologize for that. Oh, no. Where did it? Okay, I'm done looking. Sorry, I was looking for this thing. I thought I was on the heels, but I thought I had seen something earlier about where they were talking about with Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. I thought there was an interview with Katase that came out today, and I thought I had seen something on Google. I was looking on my phone for it, and the answer is no, I did not. It was something else. So I thought I had seen something else, but it was not what I thought it was. So there it is, your boy at his finest. Dracone, take it easy. All right, so I just put the YouTube channel for Aurora into the chat there. If you want, there's nothing on there right now, except I think there is a interview with Austin Matthews from Final Fantasy VII Rebirth on there, or Remake on there. Give that a subscribe if you would. Like I said, January 1, we're going to be launching content, a lot of content on there. So check that out. I would really appreciate that. I'm reading through some of your comments I missed earlier. Yeah, Matt. So the Genova thing, I still want to do that. It's a fan animation thing that I was wanting to do. The original animated idea that I had, I got a C&D from Square Enix on it, which it's theirs. But the other approach I wanted to do it like an old game scroll from like the 90s where you see images like parallaxing and moving, and then like either narration over top of it or text underneath of it. I am still working on that version of it. But it's been slow going because everything picked up with Aurora, so I had to drop working on that to go back to getting all this stuff ready for pitching in January. So we've had meetings and talks with other companies, and those are still ongoing. And some of those people I'll need to talk with in January, and that's why I had to stop working on that and go hard getting Aurora stuff done, because I thought I had everything done that I needed to get done for Aurora. But then people were like, "Oh, we want to see this other stuff too." And so I was like, "Okay, I can do that. I can totally do that." Even though it's just me, I'm like, "I can totally do that. Let's go. Let's rock." And so I had to drop doing everything else. But the Genova thing is still going to happen. That is still going to happen. I'm really excited about that. And there's some other fan animation things I want to start doing as well. I don't know if I'm going to put those on my main gaming channel here. Like, I don't know if I'm going to change the name of my channel to like Ray Coffman Media or something like that. Because I would like to put some other art and animation stuff on this channel too to go alongside with my gaming stuff, because it's all nerdy stuff, right? But I haven't decided if I'm going to pull the trigger on that yet or not. But I've got some other fan animated projects I want to do. Don't want to give anything away, but there's a lot of other stuff I want to do, and I would like to share that with you all. But I don't want to have to build another channel to do it, you know? So I don't know where I'm at with that right now. So thank you, Distant Memories. Thank you, Bobby. Appreciate that. You all be rewarded on January 1. Rewarded for subscribing to the official Aurora channel. But we have rocked hard tonight, you all. We got some good stuff done. Esquire. Ray Coffman. Esquire. Bully. Yes, bully. Yes, bully. There you go, chap. We put some stuff out there tonight. We got some good theories that we got some good discussion done. I think I am going to call it a night there. I've still got a bunch of other things I need to do tonight. But yeah, so I appreciate you all. If you have not jumped on my Discord, what are you waiting for? Equally Terrible, brother, if you're out there, put a link to the Discord in the chat. I want to get that Discord bumping. Oh, there you are, Equally Terrible. I just quoted you. I want to get that Discord bumping. I want to be chatting with you all while I'm on the road in the voice channel. I want to be seeing your all's theories. Like, I don't always chime in, but I will go on there and read your all's stuff. So wherever you're posting it, however you're posting it, I do get in there and read. And then me and my admins, we do go in and talk about some of the stuff and that kind of thing. But I'm trying to be more active on there instead, because I'm so busy all day, every day. Like, sometimes I just jump on my phone and I'll read what you all are talking about. I'll leave like little emojis or whatever, you know, but trying to be more active in discussing things with you all on there. So jump in. I know a lot of you all have a lot of crazy ideas. Say hi, introduce yourselves. We're going to grow this mug. We're going to get it going. And I'm really excited. We're in what I would consider kind of like the big push now for Rebirth. So it's always wild. And like, all theories are welcome. It's like I've said so many times, we're all right and we're all wrong until we're not. Like, we're all right and everything's on the table until we're not. So it's all love. It's all for fun. I'm just excited to be just a small part of it, small part of your journey, your wait on the way to Rebirth, as all of us as fans. And the thing that's exciting to me is to think about the world after this is over, like the aftermath. It's going to feel like a great anime with a great ending. You know what I mean? Like the real life of it. Like, we all went on this journey together, and then afterward, like, some people probably fall off of my channel. Hell, I might fall off of this channel. Who knows? I mean, I may not do it anymore. I don't want that to be the case, but you never know. But it's like the great epilogues of every great story after a long journey. Everybody's off doing their own thing. This one warrior went and just started a farm, and these other people didn't make it, and one other guy just became a wandering Ronin. This girl became a wandering Ronin, or, you know, everybody go off and do their own thing. But through Discord and things like that, we can all still hang out and BS and all that other kind of stuff. So it's just fun. It's just fun to be on the journey with you all. We're all going to go do our own things after this is all said and done. Hopefully I'm directing animation for a long time. Hopefully I'm creating Aurora for a long time. We'll find out. We'll see. But anyway, I hope that you all have a great day, great night, wherever you're at in the world. Be safe, be good to each other, keep rocking. Great conversation. I appreciate all of you all being here. And I will definitely catch you all tomorrow in some fresh content. Possibly a new stream tomorrow night. If Square Enix decides to keep just putting out crazy batshit stuff, then we'll be here for it. Have you considered a multimedia approach to this Aurora project? It would be pretty cool to lend outliner notes on the setting somebody could draft it. Well, yeah, I'm actually talking to a couple of people about that right now. We've actually got a mobile game in development. One of the mysteries about Aurora is like, why did this world that was once full of heroes become a world downtrodden and full of people that don't care? So the mobile game is going to be a 6 to 8 hour play experience that takes place 5 years before the beginning of the story. And it will answer a lot of questions that people might have, but you don't have to play it to enjoy the story. But if you want more context, you can play it and get that context that way. All right. Well, I'm out of here. I'm going to get me a little snack, get back to work for a little bit. Y'all have a great night. I'll catch you all tomorrow. Peace.
So what we're going to do today is we're going to sit down and have a conversation about